Here we have the 2020 Nissan Titan, and it already has transmission problems. This truck has only 111,000 miles. It is 2020 and it already has problems with the transmission. We'll get to more of that a little bit later on. So Nissan Titan introduced a brand new transmission for the 2020 model year and present. And this transmission is actually connected to Mercedes with the 9-speed automatic transmission. It basically consists of the same components, the same technology as the Mercedes. However, it is built by the brand Yatco, and it is not a great transmission. It is similar to like with the Cummins engine with the Nissan Titan in 2016 and 2019, which they currently discontinued. It was a horrible engine that consisted of the Cummins diesel engine used by Ram, which was a really good engine, but it just wasn't a good engine for the Titan. Similar to here, we have a really good transmission used by Mercedes. It is basically consisting of the same technology as Mercedes, but just a horrible way that it is designed for the Nissan Titan. It has many flaws, many problems. People have been complaining about this truck kind of like jerking and even like jumping when it is downshifting, and we're going to be going up under the transmission and looking at this problem, hopefully being able to fix this. We went to the Nissan dealership and they actually quoted us $8,800 for the transmission replacement. And the thing is, they knew nothing about this transmission. It is like they are working there for no reason. We were asking them about the problem. They were telling us different things. They were saying how they couldn't rebuild transmissions, that we couldn't even have a transmission from an auction or like a scrapyard and put it in this car because they wouldn't be able to program the VIN to this car. But then the mechanic was telling us different stories that we will be able to do it. So it's just they don't know much about these cars, which is really disappointing. So that's why we're going to be doing this ourselves, and I'm going to record this process for you guys. And Nissan is actually discontinuing the Nissan Titan. The 2024 model year is going to be the last of the Titan. Alright, so we are under the truck right now. First thing that we are going to do is drain the transmission fluid. So there's a special tool that you have to put in there. That is what we did right now. There's actually 4 different openings.
There's right now is a 4. This 4 is open to remove the oil. The second 3 is the position oil. 2 is drain, and 1 is close. So it's right now it's 4 because we need to remove it all oil.
Exactly that. So there's 4 basically different switches that you can turn this key on this tool. So right now we are putting into the position in to drain the oil. So we are actually doing this the first time, like I said earlier. So this just goes to show that anyone can really do this because we are not mechanics ourselves, and we just want to show you guys so that you guys can learn from this. If you have the same problem with your Titan, you can do this. You can do this yourself at home. So we just want to help you guys out. We're not sure if this will actually work, but that is why we are trying this. It's definitely worth trying this than spending $8,800 for brand new transmissions. We're just going to do this ourselves and make it harder for Nissan because it is getting a little bit ridiculous what they are doing with these trucks. Like I said, 2020, 111,000 miles, and already transmission problems. So keep watching until the end to see how we were able to do this, if we were able to do this, and this will definitely be very interesting to see the actual problem with the transmission. While we are under here, I will show you guys the undercarriage. As you guys can see, it looks pretty clean up here still. Of course, there is a little bit rust, but this car is in a place where there was a lot of snow and a lot of salt, so that's definitely why. But it's definitely not too bad. I mean, it is 2020, so you don't expect there to be much rust. So right now we are unscrewing the whole cover to get to the valve control. And that is what we are going to be looking at today and seeing if we could fix this problem, because it is a big problem with this Titan. As you can see, the oil has now slowed down, so that means it is almost drained to full. There still could be a little bit over there because the car is put up a little bit on this side, so just be careful when you are taking the cover off, because there could still be a little bit more oil, but you guys will see once we actually take it off. In some of these places it is a little bit hard to access because of this frame support here, so yeah, you might have to struggle a little bit to get the bolts off, but it's not too bad. As you can see, you kind of just have to put your fingers in there and try to get them off as best as you can.
Nowe będę wkładał, po co nowe?
There should be 10 screws in here, so once you have reached close to those 10, make sure you are holding the cover so it does not fall on you, because there could still be oil in there. Okay, so it is loose now. It is still might be a couple more in there, because we are still feeling like there is not that much loose in here.
See?
There's one more back there, so we're just gonna unscrew that one and then hold this one, and hopefully it comes out no problem without any of these frames preventing us to take this down easily. Okay, so there we go. Oh yeah, there's a lot of oil here. Oh, there we go. So you have to be careful, because there was actually a lot of oil left in there. Like I said, the car is tilted back a little bit, so all of that oil stood in the back of this cover. See, there's a lot more. So we suspected that this could happen, so make sure you are having one of these buckets close to you so that you can drain any excess oil.
Got.
So the next step you'll do is open up the hood and disconnect the battery. Also, this truck was serviced every 5,000 miles, oil change and everything like that. It has all service records, so even with that, it still needs, transmission work. It has problems with the transmission, so that just goes to show that even if you take care of your transmission, your truck, and your engine, everything like that, it does still not prevent transmission problems from happening. So right now we are going to be unscrewing that piece right there. And then there's a connection harness. We are going to have to disconnect that as well. So we are taking out the last bolt right now. So the next thing that we will have to do is disconnect that wiring harness. So that is why we took off that little metal plate that was hiding this harness over there. We're going to disconnect that now. We will have to turn that counterclockwise in order to twist it and pull it off. Alright, so we were able to get the wiring harness disconnected. It was a little bit difficult at the beginning because we had to put like a screwdriver in there to make sure it gets out all the way. It was difficult to see how to turn it as well, but we were able to do it. So right now we are going to be unscrewing 9 screws on each side. The ones that are more like lighter, those are the ones that we are going to be
over there.
Unscrewing. So you guys will see which ones we end up unscrewing.
Wszystkie białe. Jedna tutaj jest.
All the lighter ones, and then there's one over there where the finger is at right now. There's 9 on that side, there's 4 in there on this side, and then there's, I believe, 1 over there. So now we are unscrewing the four screws on the other side.
Zobaczymy, jak ściągniemy.
So now we are going to be removing the whole control valve. This weighs about 22 pounds, 10 kilograms. Right, we removed it. Once again, it is pretty heavy. Alright, so now we are putting all of these new like funnels in. All of them are brand new, and we are going to put the whole new TCM in there. Alright, so we just put in these new fixtures in. So next step that we will do is put in the new body control valve with the TCM. We ordered it from Nissan, so hopefully that fixes the problem. So here is the old body control valve. As you can see, here are 7 of the speeds, and then once we turn it over, you can see these are 2 more of them.
This TCM.
This is the whole TCM computer. Alright, so now we are connecting pins. There's 2 of them. One goes at the corner, facing the front facing of the car. And then the second one right there.
This is the special pin to install it.
To install the body control valve as straight as possible. Alright, so we are putting this in now. It's a little bit of a hard process to line both of these pins up. There we go. We were able to put the new body control valve in with the new TCM. It was a little bit hard to put it in because it was hard to line up with all the pins, with both of the pins, but we were able to do it. And now we are putting in the screws. These are new screws as well. Once you put in those screws, just to keep it in place, you can pull out the pins and then put in the new screws in the place of the pins. We have one shorter screw, and then that one goes right in there. Once again, this is the front of the car. This is towards the back, so this is where you put it in. We're going to tighten all those screws right there in a moment, but right now we're just putting in all the screws. So now we are putting in the oil pan back on. We also changed all the seals to new ones, so fresh seals. Everything is really nice and tight, so this is definitely going to help prevent leaks and make everything perfect. And now the last thing to do is to connect the wiring harness over there, the one that we disconnected earlier on. Make sure you also have it connected properly so that, you know, the connections are connecting with each other, of course. You have to put it in there, and then you have to twist it. Last time we twisted it counterclockwise, so this time you're going to twist it clockwise, and then should be perfect. Now we're gonna put in the oil, the new oil, into the transmission, and then we'll see if we have the problem resolved. Alright, so now we will be adding the new fluid into the transmission. So now we have that set on the 1 position, so it is on close. We are going to add the new transmission oil, and we're just gonna add it in very slowly. There's no need to rush for this one. It's just going to be a slow process. It's going to be going up there by itself. And we need about 10.5 quarts of this fluid. In reality, we will only need maybe like 5 quarts. It's only the one, it's only all the ones that we kind of dumped out. There's still a lot over there in the actual transmission, so probably about 5 quarts is what we'll need, but I'll let you guys know a little bit later on once we get into the ending process. Alright, so we just finished up filling with the oil. There was a lot of oil that came back, but that's just because there was too much oil, so that is basically all that is there. So now we are going to connect the terminal back on, and then we are going to start the car and let it heat up to
95 Fahrenheit.
Like 95 Fahrenheit and like 33 Celsius. And then we'll check up on the oil and see if everything is okay. Okay, so we are checking the computer right now and see like all the codes, what codes pop up, if any of them pop up, and then we're gonna check the temperature of the oil and things like that. Alright, so looks like the oil temperature is at 96.8, which is what we wanted it to be. So now we are going to go on a test drive and see if the problem clears. The original problem was when we got into the car, when we drove it on low RPMs, the whole car was like jerking forward and everything like that. It was not a smooth ride at all. So we can clearly tell there was problems with transmission.
Okay.
Before we go on the drive, we're just gonna go and check the level of the oil.
Oh, trzeba dodać. No.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put in some more.
Yeah.
And here's the oil that we're using. As you can see, it is genuine parts, Nissan Group. So this is the only oil you want to use. If you use ones that are not by Nissan, by the genuine parts, then you will lose your warranty, which you definitely don't want to do. And this one is just going to be the best anyway, so just go with this. Nissan parts are actually really cheap, so you can definitely find these. Alright, so we are filling it up. We have been filling it up for a few minutes now. So I'm gonna take it off and then check. We're gonna put the tool in there and then set it on. We want to put it on the 3rd position because we're going to check the level of the oil. Alright, so it looks like it is leaking a little bit, which is good.
Jeszcze trochę. Musi cieknąć jeszcze troszkę. Trzeba dopełnić.
Looks like we do still need to put a little bit more because on the 4th position it was not leaking, which means that we still need to put some in there. So we'll run it for a few more minutes and then we'll check the oil again. The first time when we filled it up, when we had the car running to 96 degrees, it had taken all the oil up there into the transmission, so this is why we need to check again before we can go on the drive and see if our problem is fixed. Keep in mind this is a slow process of filling up the oil, the transmission fluid, but you just have to do it this way. So we're going to turn it on the 3rd position. Yeah, we're going to put it a little bit more because what we want is for the 3rd position for it to be not really pouring a lot, but just a little bit more than dripping. That way we know that it's actually filled up the correct way, the correct amount. Okay, let's check this again. We're gonna put it on the 3rd position. Yeah, so that's basically what you want. You don't want it to be dripping, but just a little bit like this. This right now is just to check the level. So now we just put it on the 1 position, which is the closed position. So now we'll go clean this up a little bit. Put in, of course, the cover. And then we are going to take this on the test drive and hopefully the problem clears. Alright, so we are driving it right now and then we see that it's completely different now. I mean, we don't feel anything right now, which is really good. We've been driving the car for like like 5 minutes now. It's really good. So yeah, I think we got the problem solved, which is really good. So I'll let you guys know once we get back home, and then we'll see. So just like that, with just a few hours of work, we were able to save like $8,000 on this entire fixing this truck. Of course, it was still, a little bit of money because we had to buy the whole, body control, but I mean, it was better to just change it ourselves, save that $8,000, because that's what it ended up to be. This just goes to show that dealers can scam you, and that's what they do. They said that they don't rebuild transmissions, but honestly, this wasn't even rebuilding a transmission. This was just simply replacing something that's pretty easy to actually get to. So that's basically what it was. We were able to save a lot of money. This is what we recommend you to do if you have these problems. This is what solved the problem for this Titan. It would help us out a lot if you shared this video around, so that these dealers can see to just stop scamming people, to really tell the truth about these Titans, and that these trucks really have transmission problems. So if you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.